here today with Ben, playing the Sisters of Battle, a 1750 list against the Drukhari. Ready for a competition we're going to, the Animosity Gaming Vigilus competition.
First part of
2. So we're trying our lists out. We're going to go to Ben's first and go through his list, and then we'll go on to the Drukhari.
3 canonesses, 1 with the Sword of Admonition, 1 with the Brazier of Eternal Flames for anti-psychic, not very useful against Drukhari, and 1 with the Wrath of the Emperor pistol and a mace, and that one's got a mace as well, and yeah, she's got a combi melter, and this one has a combi melter as well. Then we've got 3 squads with wired on, very cleverly, half a bolter to make sure that they're storm bolters. So you have Sister Superior and 2 girls with storm bolters. 3 of them, 51 points each, quite cheap, nice little high firepower squads. Damn it that I don't get the extra bolter shots.
No.
3 squads of Seraphim for my fast attack slides. I should say I'm running a brigade. Each of the Seraphim squad, to make maximum use of my stratagems, has got a pair of Infernal pistols, not quite modelled because I haven't got the plastic models yet, pair of hand flamers and a plasma pistol with actually a bolt pistol on the Sister Superior. I think I've modelled a couple of them, but they're not all there yet. Squad of 6 Celestians, a Hospitalier and a Priest, who are in a Rhino, and generally I'll run them with 2 of the, or 1 at least, of the Canonesses. 2 Penitent Engines, one's the old Inquisitor model thing, because I can't for love and money get one off the internet at the minute that doesn't cost a lot.
Yeah, it look good when the plastic models come out.
Yeah, that would be better, much better. And then my 3 Exorcists. So I've got 5 heavy slots, which is max for the brigade. 3 fasts in the Seraphims.
6 troops.
6 troops. Oh yes, the other 3 troops are as modelled. So it's I've gone melter. So we've got combi melter in the Sister. 1 squad with 2 melter guns and 2 bolt guns, because that's what I've got of the actual models. And then there's 2 squads which are multi-melter, melter gun, combi melter, and 2 girls at the back. Actually,
Bolts.
one of them actually has a combi flamer because it's what she's got. These girls now all have chainswords instead of power mauls now, so they're not quite as good in close combat. But it's still a quite tidy list. I've got lots of options for firepower, dropping in, lots of close combat, harder close combat options, and of course the super ranged option of the large amount of firepower of the Exorcists.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what the Penitent Engines can do. We played a game that we didn't back rep between my Space Wolves. They didn't like Bjorn, did they?
No. They didn't.
They
didn't like being counter-assaulted over 6 inch by Bjorn, who got the first hit and sliced them into bits.
Yeah, 1 in one turn and 1 in the next.
Yeah.
It was, I think they'd have made a mess otherwise. So it would be interesting to see how they play out against all the vehicles and the
Talos.
Possibly the Talos, yeah.
Which we should talk about now. Oh yeah, so I'm running, I've got 15, no I haven't, I'm down to 13 command points, and I've got 9 faith points in this force.
And it's what order I use?
Oh, Order of the Bloody Rose, so I get +1 attack and +1 strength when I charge, or am charged, or do a heroic intervention.
And relics?
Oh yeah, so relics, so I've spent 2 more points on the Wrath of the Emperor pistol, Sword of Admonition, and the Brazier of Eternal.
Yeah, you mentioned already in the last one.
Psychic stuff.
Right, and I will move on to the Drukhari list. Right, so today on the Drukhari list, I will be running a battalion, which consists of 3 squads of Cabalites, 1 with blaster, 2 with shredders, two Archons. One's got Vision Blade and a blaster. The other one's got not the Helm of Spite, the other one that gives you reroll wounds. I can't remember off the top of my head. And then we have the Raider, a Venom, and we have two Ravagers and a Reaper, and we have two Razorwing jet fighters. So that makes up the that's Cabal of the Black Heart.
Yeah.
To get the reroll, to get the Feel No Pain invuln save on the vehicles, not invuln save, wound save on the vehicles.
Yeah, Feel No Pain save.
So on the Homunculus Coven, which will be Prophets of Flesh, we've got an Homunculus with he's got a Hex Rifle. We have 5 racks, one with an Ossifactor, 6 Grotesques.
2 units of 3 or 1 unit?
That's 2 units of 3 at the moment. That's how I've listed it.
Yeah.
And then we have the Talos. This is a Spearhead detachment. The 3 Talos acting as single units, all with 2 are modelled as Macro Scalpel and Chain Flowers, but the middle one I haven't changed yet. But he's got the same Macro Scalpel and the Chain Flowers.
And all Haywire rifles.
And all Haywire blasters, yeah.
Blasters, that's it.
So just to help get rid of your vehicles.
Yeah.
So with that, the obviously the Warlord trait for the Black Heart is the one where I can roll to get command points back. And do I pay for command point to get the D3 command points? Yeah, I'll come back to you on that if I decide to use command points to get an extra Warlord trait. Right, yep, I decided I'm going to use the prizes in the Dark City so I can get the Vision Blade and the Mask of the Vexator, so I get the 3 Artifacts of Cruelty. And then I'm using the Alliance of Agony for 1 command point, so I can get the Diabolical Soothsayer on the Homunculus, as well as the Labyrinth of Cunning on the Archon there. So it's a free thing really, because if you get D3 extra command points, why not? Because you're always going to get 1, so you're always going to get it back. You're not going to lose anything. So I'm just going in a re-roll and possibly more command points. So we will move on to picking the map and the mission and come back to. So we have deployed. I rolled the roll off, and we got to choose deployment zones. We are playing the Search and Destroy map and deployment zone. Yeah. So Ben deployed fully first. He's got his pennant engines there. He's got the squads of sisters. What else is in that?
So you've got 3 melters, Stormbolter, and Stormbolter. 3 of them, cannon less rerolls. There's a shed load of things inside this.
And the Seraphims are all
3 squads Seraphim are off board.
Are off board. So and
I've pulled Big Game Hunter, Counterattack, Oath of Vengeance. Then I rolled a 6 for this scenario, which means I think I take out. Sorry, a 3 for this scenario, which means I take out everything that has a 3 as a 10 number from my pack.
Well, we're playing Scars of Battle, so you withdraw 6 cards from your decks and then roll a dice and take them cards out from your deck as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to be an interesting one.
Because you're running out of cards quick.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. You could end up going very little to pick from.
Yeah.
But we shall see how it goes. The Drukhari have set up, obviously countering Ben's setup, so pretty much the Homunculus Coven is in there, racks there, all sort of facing through the square. Grotesques. The Archon's also there with the blaster and the Vision Blade, and the Homunculus is there as well. The heavy firepower's over there with the other Archon. The Venom's there, and the 2 Razor Wings are out in this corner, just trying to stay out as much range of stuff as possible until their turn. So we shall move on to I lost the C's, so Ben will be going first, unfortunately. So we shall move on to Sisters of Battle, turn 1. Right, going into Sisters, turn 1. Obviously, there's no psych, so we missed movements. We're going to do movement. Everything just shuffled about a bit. Not much moved. These girls run over to here, up to the flank towards the objective. They shuffled around a little bit, and the Rhino moved back, and the penitent engines made a tactical withdrawal from the firing because they realised they couldn't get into the grotesques. So they're hopefully waiting. They're planning on waiting for to counter strike. So then we went on to shooting phase.
I've got
Exorcist over there.
Divine Guidance, first time ever.
Divine Guidance on, and you shot at the Reaper.
Yeah, and did nothing.
I'll save both of them. Then the other two shot at the Venom that used to be there, and he's not now. Didn't blow up. The troops got out and ran around the corner. They all survived. And I think that was it for your turn.
Basically. Yeah.
You're faltering in the corner. Oh, you got a victory point for first strike.
Yep.
You didn't achieve any cards.
No.
Right, so you got 1 victory point
for first strike.
And then you had
one of my cards is to kill your Archon, which is a bit of a pest.
Yeah, which is the Oath of Vengeance. We are using the Space Wolf cards because the Sisters of Battle we didn't have a standard pack of tactical objectives, so we've using the Space Wolf cards and just taking out the ones that are Space Wolf only. So with that, we're going on to Drukhari movement phase. Obviously, yeah, onto movement phase, and we'll see if we can encroach on the Sisters without getting shot up, because he's playing very come and get me. So we'll move on to
bloody road. Get me.
onto Drukhari. Drukhari turn 1. We moved the grotesques forward and the homunculus. The Archon forward. The Razor Wings have flown straight up the board, getting involved, and Talos have moved around this building with the homunculus in tow. The gunboats have just moved around the corner. I've left the racks where they are, and these troops are just spread out a bit just to give a bit of deep strike cover to this side, and then I have moved the Raider over to there, just at the edge of his movement. Lost secure cards on my draw, which is slightly annoying, but I did get Assassinate, Big Game Hunter, and Kingslayer. Which I don't think I'll be able to do this turn because he's in that Rhino. I might be able to kill the Rhino, but then it's
she is in the Rhino.
She's in the Rhino. Yeah, sorry, she's in the Rhino. I might be able to get that, but I'm not going to be able to shoot her this turn. So never know. Next turn we may get her. So I've now moving on to turn 1. No psychic, obviously. So we're moving on to turn 1, shooting for Drukhari. Right, end of Drukhari shooting phase. We shot the Talos, all the Talos, into the penitent engine that was there.
That was there.
Now it is not. We shot the Reaper into the Rhino. We shot the Ravager.
Yeah.
One of the Ravagers into the Rhino.
Yeah.
The other Ravager into that penitent engine and took a couple of wounds off, was it?
Yeah, off here. 3.
Three off her.
That's 3.
This Raider took the last remaining wound off of the penitent engine that was there.
Yes.
And the Razor Wings shot
the Rhino?
At the Rhino with the disintegrators. Well, this one shot the Rhino disintegrators.
Yeah.
The missile at the
Exorcist
and some splinters at the troops. The troops saved.
And so did the other one. Actually, did the same thing. So
yeah, but we just
repeat.
Yeah, rinse and repeat. But we shot the disintegrators into that unit there that killed 3, and then the splinters from that one killed one of them. So that's the end of the shooting phase.
You did destroy the Rhino.
I destroyed the Rhino, so I got Big Game Hunter. I also managed to get his character out of the rhino, so I can hopefully kill her. And so not bad. Shooting wasn't great, but it did a bit of work. Rolling 1 on a d6 for the Reaper wasn't the funnest thing I've ever done. So we shall move on to Sisters turn 2. Right.
Following the curry disruption.
Yeah. The food break meant we forgot to do the movement, I think. These sisters moved up. They stayed where they were, pretty much. That lot stayed where it was. They stayed. A little bit of shuffling went on up there, and the pennant engine moved up. And the Seraphim came in the back here, because Ben had...
Mission critical
objective 6, which was there. And it had racks on it a brief while ago. But we'll go into shooting phase. The Seraphim came down, did all their...
Burning descent.
Yeah, burning descent and shooting, and killed the racks. I rolled quite badly for the saving throws. But now that means he can't charge them. So he can't control the point at the end of his turn. So although I lost the racks, I'm not going to lose possible D3. So on the shooting, that Talos got taken down to 1 wound from a variety of shooting from these girls here and a few other. You didn't shoot. No, you didn't shoot the Exorcist or anything then.
No, I didn't.
Just bolt rifles, wasn't it?
Bolt rifles and the
storm bolters and the meltdown. The Reaper got taken down to 6 wounds by the Exorcists. Is it all of them?
Yeah.
All 3 Exorcists. I did a bit of saving on there, and
yeah, and a bit of rubbish wound rolling.
Yeah, just cracking on that. Lots of hits and very little wounds. So that collective firing on that grotesque from over there took 2 wounds off. I think that was it.
And then we're going to try some really long range charges.
You're going to try some really long range charges, yeah. So this squad is going to the grotesques, which is
that
12-inch charge.
I'm going to try and charge them, and then if I get to consolidate, I might get the range. I'm going to try and charge that, and if I get to consolidate, I might get the range. I'm thinking about trying to charge that, because I'll get first dibs, and I might take it out before it gets me, although it'd have a lot of haywire at me, wouldn't it?
And toughness 7. Against what?
But it's going to charge me next time anyway.
Against strength 3.
Maybe not.
Is that hitting on 6s, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
So once Ben's decided what he's charging, then we will move on to assault phase. Right, after charge phase, Ben tried to charge the Reaper, failed to charge and didn't take nothing in Overwatch. He decided against the long charge to the either the Grotesque or Homunculus. He decided not to charge the Talos, and the Penitent Engine failed its charge. So charge phase wasn't very good for the sisters.
Not at all.
They looked at the Homunculus cover and thought, nah. So we are moving into Drukhari movement phase. Turn
2.
Right, my cards. The extra one I got was Take Them Alive. I've still got Assassinating Kingslayer, and I had to remove 5s, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5s. So I moved the gunboats up, the Ravagers are up there. I've shuffled these about at the back. I've moved the Raider right up behind his troops here. To give them some shredder fire. I had to about turn the 3 Grotesques there to try and deal with some Seraphims. I'm not sure whether they'll be able to handle a flamer or not, but we shall see. The Talos will move around here. One's gone to try and deal with them. I did Fleshcraft on that one, got 1 wound, which wasn't ideal. And these 2 have wandered around here. The 3 Grotesques in the middle have advanced that way along. Oh, I didn't move the Archon actually. I will move him because he was out of range, so I'll move him up there. So he's in a bit of range or something. And one Razor Wing went around that way, and one went over to there to put some fire on amongst that lot. really need to try and get to the Warlord. I think that'd be pivotal to get Kingslayer and Assassinate. Hopefully, we shall see. So moving on to Drukhari, turn to shoot phase. Right. Drukhari, turn to shooting. The Talos is shot into the penitent engine, all three of them in the end to get rid of it. The Reaper whiffed. Yeah. I shot both of the Ravagers into the Exorcist there. Shot the Razor Wing into the Exorcist at the back, and then shot these splinter rifles, but didn't do anything. And I chipped off a couple of troops there with the was it 4 killed? Yeah. Oh, no, sorry, 3 killed. 3 killed with the guys inside the radar.
Yeah.
And that Razor Wing.
And a Seraphim from the
squad over there. That Raider didn't do anything. Oh, I shot that into the Exorcist as well.
Other things, yeah.
That's you saved on double sixes, didn't you?
Yes, 4 times. And then you also tried to execute the
Hospitalia and VFO of that as well. So moving on to charge and fight phase for Drukhari turn 2. Right, the Talos made it in. The Homunculus didn't. The Grotesques made it in over there. I tried an 11-inch charge between there and there with that Talos and failed. And the Grotesques were in with the Seraphim there. So now moving on to combat. Right, Drukhari, end of the fight phase, turn 2. A lot seems to have happened for turn 2.
Yeah.
The Grotesque wiped the squad that was there, but the Canoness saved her damage and did 1 wound back in return. The troops here did a wound back in return against the Talos, and they did the Seraphim did nothing after we wiped out 5. We wiped 2 from that squad, and it was 2 from that squad as well. So, but the Seraphim passed their morale as well. So now we're moving on to Sisters turn 3. Right.
Yeah.
Movement phase.
The last lot of Seraphim came down.
The Seraphim have come down to here.
This unit moved.
They're 9 inches away from that, and they're going to shoot into the Cabalites apparently.
Oh yes, because I've got no prisoners. So I need to destroy a lot of units.
Yeah, the Seraphim have jumped in here, in between the Ravager and the Raider in that bit of tree. You moved these out of combat with the Talos and moved them ones forward. And there's a lot of shuffling gone on there and moving forward of them troops there. That lot in the corners all stayed still. But yeah, there's definitely some front rank firing, rear rank firing going on there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for turn 3 movement. What card did you get? Was he
no prisoners?
No prisoners.
So my sisters need to pull out the strap-ons and give you a jolly good seat.
Indeed, I'm looking forward to it. Right, sisters turn 3 shooting.
If I'm really clever with some charges, might do you in.
So that Talos for this is so turn 3 shooting took 6 wounds.
This one took 1?
No, it took 1 last time.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Shot one of them.
You killed one of them with pistols.
Yeah, the wrong way round.
You used this Seraphim squad to shoot the Cabalites that were there, killed them all. That Seraphim squad that fired at the Reaper. Altogether, that's down to 1 wound now. And the Exorcist shot at that Ravager and took 8 wounds off.
Yeah.
And your everything else pretty much fired into the Grotesques and killed 1 and took 2 wounds off another. So altogether took 3 wounds off.
Not very good for a lot of firing.
A lot of firing, a lot of bolters, a lot of melters.
Mm-hmm.
4 up invons were going well. Could have done with some 5 up invons on me Ravager really, because I only did 1 saving throw.
Yeah.
So we will move on to charge and fight phase for turn 3 sisters. Right. So end of turn 3. End of turn 3 fight phase. Everything fought in there and killed Grotesque. The sisters squad took a couple of wounds off the Archon, and the Archon wiped 4 out of the squad.
Yeah. Oh, morale. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fine.
Yeah, you're fine. And then the Seraphins consolidated into the Archon after killing the Ravager in combat. The Reaper survived on 1 wound. We lost 1 Grotesque and killed 2 in
Combat.
fight back. And the Talos died, which
was interesting.
yeah, it's had annoying, but hey ho, things happen. So we are then moving on to Drukhari. Oh, you got no prisoners?
Yeah, I got no prisoners. I managed to destroy 3 units in this turn.
Yeah,
which means I get D3. Happy days.
For 2. Nothing else done. Everything else not done.
No.
Still contested. And Big Game Hunter. You did get Big Game Hunter.
I did get Big Game Hunter. Yeah. Did aerial deny happen because?
No, because there's an Archon there. Still there.
No enemy models. Yeah. Yeah, 10 wound model. Got it.
So is that a tool, or is that in the shoot phase or fight phase? Just a tool.
At least 1 enemy model unit with wounds of 10.
In your turn. Yeah, cool.
Did I destroy 2?
No.
No. If I got 2, I could have got D3 again.
Lovely. Well, you didn't, thank God. So we shall move on to Drukhari, turn 3, movement phase. Right, Drukhari movement. The Talos has moved. This is turn 3. Talos has moved up. Monkus has come over here to try and gain objective 1, which I've got to defend. The Archon stayed in combat. The Grotesque stayed in combat. Razorwing moved there. The other Razorwing moved there. The Reaper dropped out of combat. The Ravager stayed where it was, and the Grotesque stayed in combat. So we are moving on to shoot phase, which will not be very long this turn, I don't think. Right. So the Reaper fired into the Seraphim. So did the Archon. So did the Razorwing, all bar its missile that fired at the
one of the
things beginning with the Exorcist. I can never remember the name of. Killed that, and then the Ravager fired into the Seraphim as well, because they got 5 invuln, and it was doing some 5-up saves. So they're down to 1. They lost 1 on morale as well, actually. The homunculus shot into them and missed. Talos was over there, shot into the Exorcist that was over there, and then did fire and fade to come back over through here. That Talos fired at the Exorcist as well, and so did that Razorwing, and with combined shooting it died at last. So I think that's everything. I'm moving on to fight phase. Turn 3. Turn 3, Drukhari, charge phase. Talos got in, homunculus got in. Talos got in, took a wound to Overwatch. The gunboat Reaper went in, and so did the Archon, but didn't take any damage. That Archon's all in combat, so's the Grotesque, and the Grotesque over here. So,
did you want to charge that canoness?
Yes, I'll charge the canoness with the Raider.
Nice.
So that's in.
So she'll... Oh, hits it with a melter.
So we'll come back in the roundup of the Drukhari fight phase.
Oh yeah.
That Seraphim died. Them 2 died. 2 that were there died. 2 in that died. Did a wound back on fight back.
Yeah.
And 2 wounds were done in fight back on the Archon. He killed 2. I made a mistake. I thought that the canoness had 4 wounds. That was why I charged the Raider in there. And she did take her down her last wound, so she was on 1. And well, I thought she was on 0, but it turns out she was on 1. So she survived, and did a couple of wounds in fight back.
And I've just done a Spirit the Martyr, and got 2 wounds back.
So yeah,
I start my turn.
It's on to movement phase for turn 4. Sisters. Right, sisters. Turn of 4 movement. There's a bit of shuffling around. Gone around Everything's dropped out of combat with a raider. The cannon's dropped out of combat with a raider and scarpered over here. All she's done is a bit of a scarpering. She likes a bit of scarpering, that one.
I do like it. I like backing out.
She's definitely run off a lot of times. I think. Oh yeah, you dropped out of combat there. So
Yeah.
right, we're moving on to turn 4 shooting phase for the sisters. Right, turn 4 sisters shooting phase. Quite a bit of stuff fired into the Talos. He survived everything. The raider lost 4 wounds to a lot of small arms, melta gun fire, plasma fire. That died, and 2 died on the get out. 2 troops died on the get out.
Archon died to bolt.
Oh, the old Archon, yeah, died to pistol fire. I think that was it, was it?
That was it. Yep.
Yeah, so we're moving on to charge and fight phase for turn 4. Right, so end of the fight phase. The Talos got charged, took a wound, killed 1 in return. Then the squad there charged the Calabites and died. No, didn't die. Did you lose 1?
Lost 1. Yeah.
And then failed the charge. No, you didn't lose any. You failed the charge.
Yeah,
and you saved 1.
Yeah.
And that was it for the fight phase.
But I did get assassinate for a character and area denial because there's nobody within 6 inches of the centre anymore.
Possibly. We'll look at that.
Yeah.
The other way, I was thinking. No, it looks like it's out as well.
Yeah.
So you get area denial. So you'll get a point for that, Will.
And assassinate for a point for taking out a character.
So, and I get 2 points for defend.
Yes.
So we're moving on to Drukhari, turn 4 movement. So for my cards, I pulled defend 6, defend 3, and fear and terror, which is score a victory point if at least 1 enemy unit fails their morale test. So we'll move on to the movement. So turn 4 movement phase. I drew the cards defend 3 and 6. So the 6 is there. I've just moved the Ravager in line and the grotesque. This Talos has gone towards 3 with the homunculus in tail. I've just dropped that Talos out of combat so you can shoot at the horrible thing at the back there. The Cabalites have moved round, and obviously the 2 flyers have moved. The the Ravage Reaper stays still. So we are moving on to shooting phase. Turn 4. Right. Round up for turn 4 Drukhari shooting. We took quite a few wounds up with rockets and stuff from the Razor Wings. We removed that squad with the
next to the
Cannoness there with the Razor Wing disintegrators. The Seraphim and that last one of the sister squad went from the Ravager and the Reaper. The Talos has shot into them with his lances, with his haywire because he was out of range, and now he's charged. I forgot to do the video roundup, so I'm doing it now. He's charged. He's the only unit that is charging. I did a couple of wounds off of the Exorcist with the other Talos. I dropped out of combat as well. But yeah, not a great deal of shooting. Hopefully get a few more sisters dead with this Talos, but that's the only combat, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Right, so we'll go into that small bit of combat, and then we'll move into the turn 5. Turn 4, the Talos wiped that squad. Drukhari turn 4 assault. That was it. All that went on. So there's 3 sisters there. There's the Warlord, the Priest, the Cannoness, and the Hospitalia there.
There's the other Cannoness.
The other Cannoness and the Exorcist.
That's it.
I've got depleted boat, one that's alright on wounds, and the Cabalites that probably might die, and the 2 flyers. If I stay on these 2 points, 6 and 3, through Ben's turn, then I will gain another 4 points.
But I've got the opportunity
to we shall move into Ben's turn 5.
Yeah.
Right, end of turn 5, sister's shooting phase. Quite good. 9 wounds off the Ravager. Bad. I've rolled so many 1s, it's ridiculous. Both Talos went. Again, rolled lots of 1s. It's just melters and then one's
Yeah.
just ridiculous. I
Ridiculous
don't know.
amount of ones going on.
For that altogether for that saving throws for that Talos, I rolled 7 ones.
Yeah.
So and then feeling the pain's a further 3.
Yeah.
I think that's it. There'll be no charges for this turn or fighting phase. So we're moving on to Drukhari, turn 5. Did you get anything on that?
I got 1 point for overwhelming firepower.
Well, and I got 2 points for defend 6. So I failed to defend 3 due to Talos dying, which was full wounds. I didn't think that was going to happen. But hey ho, that's rumour plans. So we'll move on to Drukhari.
Right.
For the shooting phase, went alright. We shot the Ravager, into the Warlord and killed her. What's that? 9-inch.
9-inch.
We shot all the missiles into the Exorcists. Didn't do anything, I think.
No.
We shot the disintegrators into the squad that was there. That died, and then we killed the other Canoness. So, not bad for shooting phase. Now the Grotesque is about to charge the Hospitalia. In fact, I multi-charge them, so I need a 9.
Yeah.
Rerolling that because we're Drukhari.
Okay.
To do 2 3. So that's not happening.
I'll shoot at you with my last pistol. No?
No. So that's the end of turn 5. I don't get these 2 defends till next, and haven't made you fail a morale test. So that leaves me on 9 command points for this to end this turn. What?
And
You
I'm
are
on 7.
On 7. So do we roll? Do you want to roll to see if we carry on? 4.
It's a 1-2. It stops, isn't it? It's
1, 2, 3.
It carries on.
So it stops at this.
No, I think it's a 3 up. It carries on. I shall
We
check.
should double check. Right, so on a roll of a 4, the game does continue into turn 6. We shall be moving into Sisters, turn 6. 4 models to move, so moving phase will come quickly. End of shooting phase, Ben's got Scale the Skies with the priority orders received.
But then he didn't think.
He didn't read the card properly and thought it said flyers, so he decided to shoot the Razor Wing
Exorcist, yeah, with the
and did 1 damage rather than shoot the 2 gunboats over here that have got 1 wound each. Could have possibly killed him, could have possibly gained 4. I'm not sure it would have mattered at the end, because at the end of this turn I would probably gain at least another 2 and another 2.
Ah, fair enough. Yeah.
So
you'd have jumped ahead by another 4 anyway.
Yeah, quite possibly. I don't think you'd obviously have anything run away from morale because of your characters, but I would have possibly, or I'd definitely got that one over there. And if the Monculus survived, I'd have got that one there, which I'd imagine he would. Yeah. Because he's got Master of the Vexator, so you'd fight last.
Yes.
Well, one of you. Or you can choose a unit to fight last, which would definitely not be the Hospitality.
Yeah.
The priest, maybe. So, moving on to the charge phase, he's going to charge this Monculus. Are you charging the Monculus? No?
That's a silly idea.
Right, so we'll just move on to Drukhari, turn 6. Right, so end of turn 6. Ben's mathematically conceding. He's got the priest and the Hospitalia left, which are quite surviving. But they've taken a lot of.
She lives at the end of every battle, I think.
Yeah, taking a lot of damage there, and he got 3 wounds left on the Exorcist and a couple of wounds left on the sister. The
last
Canoness. I've got some severely limping vehicles in them 2, 1 wound each, and the 2 flyers aren't in bad nick. I've got 1 Grotesque left, a Homunculus and 8 Cabalites. So it's been a fair old slug.
Yeah. Bit of a slaughterfest.
Yeah, massively so.
A lot of pain going on.
Yeah, from both. I'll tell you, to be honest, we were level pegging until turn 5.
Yes, we were, weren't we?
And then I got a couple of defends that I managed to sort of get, and that threw me over the finishing point a little bit, I think. With you lost
it's amazing going.
You
through
lost
the pack.
defence, didn't you, at the beginning?
I lost all my defence and thought, oh,
And
that's not a bad thing.
And I thought that was the same thing. I thought it's not bad. And I lost all the secures. And I thought, bollocks, I've lost all the secures. That's like 1 turn, 1 point. But the defence, because I was getting them in pairs, because you're eradicating on every turn a certain part of your deck.
Parts of the deck.
They were coming out defend. So it was working out for me that I've ended up with 4 defend points.
Yeah.
So
that's 8 in total.
That's 8 points.
Yeah.
Four objectives.
Cards,
yeah.
True.
So that's got me 8 points in the end. I think I'm 1 more on. 13 points.
To 7.
But we were at like 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4.
Yeah.
So I definitely think.
Interesting.
I think GW done well actually, because I think the Drukhari were quite. I'm not saying sisters are like a tier 1, but they're pretty good, and
they're not bad.
It's Drukhari's definitely been brought back in line. I mean, bar the 2 flyers, most of my units are fairly decimated.
Yeah.
The 2 flyers are fairly stable, but you haven't really targeted them, to be honest.
Kind of left them alone because they're just a little bit hard to hit and had other targets to get rid of.
The 2 Cabalites around here, there's 2 squads of 4, but everything else is one wound.
I did a lot of that. There's a lot of things that got down to just 1 wound and it stayed in the fight and I just couldn't quite kill it.
You did a lot of split firing.
Yeah.
I tended to stop doing it nowadays.
Yeah, it's funny.
Unless I'm like definite I'm going to kill it, just because the bloody sods all the dice rolls aren't.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. Actually, I'm going to stick everything into your warlord. I thought about split firing that, and I thought, nah, just fire all the Ravager into it and make sure.
Make sure she goes. Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah, and again, only 3 hits out of 9 went through.
Yeah, exactly.
So you sometimes
enough, but
you need it.
You need it, definitely.
But yeah, it's been a really good game. Yeah. Really enjoyable game. Level pegging, just the Drukhari. I just got through in the end. But it was at one point it was basically both my Talos went. I thought, no way. Can't believe he just absolutely massacred a Talos on 4 wounds, and I rolled so many 1s. I rolled really bad 1s on saves, and you rolled really bad 1s on wound rolls.
That's it. Yeah.
There's a lot.
It's been a 1 fest.
A lot of 1s rolled. But it's been a good battle. The ball's looking good. We've got, and the armies are looking good. So
learn to read the objective cards.
Yeah, that's definitely one to remember to do, because when we come to the Vigilus weekend, that could be the difference between winning a battle and losing a battle.
Yes, very much.
Because if you had got that within 4 points, you might not have won the game, but depending on how they're doing the scoring.
Yeah.
If you're a minor or a major victory, pushes you further through the competition.
That's true. We should do little summaries at the end if we can remember.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try and do a whole video about the Vigilus
cool.
weekend.
That'd be nice, because there'll be lots of armies and stuff there as well.
We'll go through our lists that we're taking, and then we'll carry on and go through and do an after an event report.
Yes.
And try and take some footage at the event.
That'd be good.
Anyway,
debrief in the pub somewhere. That'd be quite
nice. We'll do that. lots of beer.
Yeah.
Right, so
as it's 12:30, I think it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, it's time to pack up. So BFS Wargaming out. Thank you very much.